How's everybody doing? All right, I think we have 3 or 4 theaters totally sold out, all here for the Banshees of Inisherin. Super excited to tell you about this film. So, the Banshees of Inisherin is by director Martin McDonagh. He needs no introduction. We've played a few of his films before. You know, everyone loves In Bruges, everyone loves Three Billboards. This film does not disappoint. I went in totally blind. We were sent a very, cryptic log line, just 2 friends who fall out. Sort of, I don't know what to expect. I don't want to spoil it. But it does feature phenomenal performances. It's super funny and it has a special guest I think Fantastic Fest people will really appreciate. So at the end, we'll talk about that special animal guest. We're going to have Martin McDonagh join us for a Q&A. We're so excited that he's here. He's getting some quick food now, but he's gonna be back. So do not leave your seats. He cannot wait to talk to you about the film. And we also have Kerry Condon. She's one of the stars of the film. Phenomenal. And she will be joining us as well. So really just enjoy Banshees. Y'all are just going to love it. I can't wait. I promised you that some special guests would be joining us. A huge round of applause. Director Martin McDonagh. And star Kerry Condon. So, what did I tell y'all? This is a Fantastic Fest movie, right?
Is it though? Is it really?
Well, you missed
No
the
aliens, no I guess there's a little horror.
I'd say, the scene with the violin playing with the bloody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what really sealed the deal for me. So in the intro, you missed it, but I was just saying, we got a very cryptic description from Searchlight. They just said, 2 friends on an island fall out. And I thought,
That's about it.
yeah, that's about it. So, as the movie unfolds, it's just so absurd, and you just think, it can't possibly go there, and it does. So do you want to talk about writing the script, the inspiration, where did you get this insane, what's going on with this film?
Well, that's a big one to unpack. Insane, I would disagree. For me, it's just a simple breakup story. That no, I think so. And it was just about being true to that at the start of the writing of the film, and just to see how badly that could go was interesting to me. But to be as truthful as to the pain of being dumped was the first initial thing I wanted to get across, I guess. But then also, I guess we've all been like the dumper and the dumpee, maybe. So to see the story as well from Brendan Gleeson's point of view was equally important to the story.
I mean, seeing Colin and Brendan together for the first time since In Bruges, really phenomenal.
In Bruges, in the house.
But then Kerry, it was so nice to see you pop up because you were in
Kerry Condon, everyone.
You, of course, were in Three Billboards, and then Better Call Saul as well. Y'all heard of that show? So I'm so happy to see you have such a large role in this film. Do you want to talk about, reuniting with Martin and what it was like working on that set, because it's quite a small cast?
So I had done a lot of plays with Martin that nobody ever hears about. And very big part.
How long ago did we do those plays?
Like 20 years, more than 20 years ago, I suppose.
20,
the first
22
play,
years ago,
yeah.
When you were 1.
Exactly. So at the same time, you never, presume that you're going to get another part. Every time I do a job, I always think it might be the last time, and that's okay because there was all these amazing theatre jobs that we had done together. And so I was just so happy to get another chance to do another part. And then, but initially, I'll be honest, like I was a little disappointed. I didn't say it to Martin at the time, but the parts in the plays are so amazing. And they're
This
just,
was shit, right?
It was just.
Hang on a second. Why'd you tell me this now?
She weren't as showy as the other ones. But then once I started rehearsing, I was like, actually, this is kind of harder than the other ones because she's hiding a lot and, you know, showing just glimpses of things. So then I started to realize, oh, wow, it's come at the perfect time in my life. You know, I don't think I could have been as good at it, you know, when I was younger maybe, or had the depth, I suppose, for it. And then working on the set, it was small, but then it felt very theatre because we did do rehearsals for 2 weeks, and a lot of the other actors in the film have done Martin's plays too, so it felt theatre-y in the rehearsals. And
yeah, we worked with like the priest was in my short film like 15 years ago, but also has done The Cripple of Inisherin.
Yeah.
The policeman as well was in the short, and he did the first version.
He was
the first version of that. So we had about 10 cast members, but I think we'd both worked with about 8 of them before.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool when you get to a set and it's like a little repertory company.
But then it wasn't cocky either. Do you know, sometimes you watch films, you know, they're all friends and they all think they're great, and you're like, well, you're not that fucking great.
Yeah, like Ocean's 11 or something.
I
like
was just going, no!
This is why we're so in tune. Fuck that
I'm
movie.
not saying that we love Ocean's 11, fuck's sake.
Do you?
No, yeah, I do, and everybody
not
in it's
good.
brilliant. So anyways, but we weren't like that because obviously we're Irish, so we you know, we had to sort of prove ourselves and all. So everyone was sort of wanting to do a great job, and yeah.
Well, I have to ask about, sorry, but the real star of the film, Jenny. What
True.
was it like working with her?
She's the star of
directing
3/4 of the film. Oh, too soon?
You told me not to.
I know, right? Yeah, she was like the dream, wasn't she?
She was so
I did have a
cute.
bit of a crush on her.
But she was very young, so they had to have an older donkey, her pal. And so, oh my God, guys, the older donkey was called Rosie. And so when she was on set, she had to see Rosie. So Rosie would be hiding in the bedroom or something. And then, oh my God, she'd get upset if she couldn't see Rosie. Oh my God, it was so adorable.
It was nice.
All right, I know y'all have plenty of questions. Yes, right there.
No, I'd love Barry since he did a TV show called Love Hate like years and years ago, not years and years ago, like 10 years ago maybe, and I'd kind of been following him for a few years. I really liked his work in both of those Yorgos films. And yeah, he was always sort of on my radar. I wrote the film for Brendan and Colin, but also for Kerry and for Barry, weirdly, and luckily they were all free that couple of months.
Yeah, of course we were going to be. Well, I mean, I was.
Yeah, right here.
No, Brendan has been playing and touring with a band for like the last 20 years. He's been playing, and that's another part of being able to write something for him was like he knows that, so it's not a worry. But he also wrote the tune that his character plays as well.
And I'm sorry to the people in other theaters. I'm going to repeat the question. Brendan already knew how to play the violin, and he wrote the tune. That was the question. All right, next. Yes, right there.
Okay, so you've done your plays, and you have a chorus in Lieutenant of Inisherin, and this chorus is quite different. I just wondered if, the maiming and killing of animals was something that you were very deliberately playing on between the film and the stage.
I've got memory issues, so I'd completely forgotten that I'd written a character called Porrick, and that anything bad had happened to any animals in any of my previous stuff. So, great question, and I'll forget that again in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, right there.
Your plays are also so amazing, and you were talking about how.
How come you guys
I'm
know my
glad you know
plays?
the
I thought-
plays. I'm so
I didn't know Austin was a hotbed of theatre. Thank you.
You were talking about how there is a theater quality to this movie, and it really you could have crafted this as a play. It works so well as a film too. How do you decide? Can you speak to how you decide what is going to work best in which medium?
So, sorry, I'm going to pause you. So, how do you decide what's going to work best as a play or what's going to work best as a film?
I mean, I know what you mean about this one, but I still don't think it would be. The character of the island is massive in this, and the animals actually as well. And you couldn't have either of those things on stage, for instance. I think basically, if you're stuck in a room with like 4 characters, it's going to be a play. If there's some kind of element of the town, Bruges, or the islands being a character cinematically, then I guess the expanse, the cinematic, is always there on day one. So this was never going to be a play.
Are you going to write more plays?
We're going to talk about that later. I've got the issues that Brendan's character has, how much time? How much time do we have left for play? No one here can see like how good we got Lieutenant of Inisherin in London, in blah blah blah. But if we'd made a film of it, then you could see, just like in Bruges, you can see it, now as you did 14 years ago. So it is a debate I'm having in my own head of the worth of that. It is sad, but what can you do?
That got very deep.
Sorry about that.
No, wonderful.
Let's bring it up. Let's lighten it.
I'll stage a play in Austin because,
Okay, if I wanted to, where would I go?
the Zach Theater right down the street.
Okay.
All
Deal.
right, right there.
You were just talking about how the island, the setting is a character. Where was the shot and what was it like finding it?
So the question was, the setting is the character. Where was it shot? How did you find it?
It's the first 3 weeks were shot on Inisherin, which is one of the Aran Islands. So Porrick's house was built there, looking over the whole of Inisherin.
Dunangus.
The castle that Barry and Colin sit on, the kind of brick wall thing, is actually kind of this old medieval, not even medieval, it's like Iron Age fort that's like beautiful. So the first 3 weeks were there. The rest of it was on Achill Island, which is in Mayo, and that's the kind of coast pub road, which we built the pub there, and the beach with the little house that Brendan's house overlooks is actually a teeny little house on that beach, which is still there if you ever get to Ireland. But yes, and we location scouted. I knew Inisherin, but I didn't know Achill. As a kid, I'd go back to Galway and Inisherin, but Achill was a whole new thing. Really, we were looking to make the most beautiful Irish film ever made. Whether or not we succeeded or failed, blah, blah, blah. But there weren't that many to beat.
No, Mark.
Shall I not go there?
No, don't.
Okay, okay. Anyway, there's go if you like it.
Well, it's beautiful. Certainly more beautiful than, well, no, I'm not going to say it. Love Texas. All right, I think we have time for 1 or 2 more questions. Yes, right there.
Hi, so just a quick thing. This kind of feels like an obvious thing, but it feels like, not just saying this because you're here, but, I think of director-actor combos, and Scorsese and De Niro, some along those lines. I think of like you and Colin. What draws you to keep on going back to him? Have him in your lead in your movies.
So, what keeps you going back to working with Colin?
I think, he's a brilliant actor, he's a brilliant comedian, but he's very open to sad, broken. He's open to the truth of not being a starry leading man, of being someone who's, maybe not the brightest, for instance. I think he's not dim. I don't think he's dull, but if there's a spectrum of those things, he's somewhere on it.
The character.
The character,
right?
not
Colin.
Did it come across that way? Yeah. Okay. Scratch that. He. Very few actors, I think, are open to being a wuss. You know, a sad, broken, you know, not alpha male. He's probably whatever the G word is in the alphabet. And to do that without ego, I think is one of Colin's brilliant qualities. And there's an ease of working between us, I think. But he's a kind man. He's a lovely guy to work with as well. So I hope we'll keep doing it every 14 years.
We hope so too. More often than that. All right, one more right there.
Oh boy. I love the humor in this film, and I was just wondering, speaking of Irish films, were you a fan of Wait and Then Goodbye?
Honestly, I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
No.
We can't end on that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's right there.
Okay, so after we walk out, what are the 3 Irish films we must watch?
Ooh.
And now, put your money where your mouth is.
I can only come up with like half of one, I think. No, I'm kidding. There's a very obscure one called Garage, which Pat, who plays the barman, is the lead actor in. It's very kind of what's his name?
Pat George.
Yeah.
In the film, what's his name?
No,
I don't know.
Anyway, that's a good one. But like cinematically, I guess you go back to Ryan's Daughter, but it's not one of David Lean's best. I don't think.
The Snapper is a great Irish movie. The Roddy
It's
Doyle.
not.
It is. Thank you. It's very funny.
Outvoted, I guess. What else is good? I guess my brother made a couple of okay ones.
Say one of them for the love of God, please say one of them.
No, he's pissing me off now. There must be something. You were in some. What was it?
I can't say my own.
Yes, you
That's
can. Go
weird.
on. And then I can judge them.
You know what?
Angela's Ashes.
No, it's a good book.
When you said say one, I'm in.
Yeah,
So,
a good one.
You know what? I'm gonna put us all out of our misery. Martin and Kerry, thank you so much.